Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily Chit-chat. I'm Kate, currently giving myself advice that I'm 100% not following.
And I'm Gavin, the man who gives excellent advice to others and then does the complete opposite in my own life. A true professional hypocrite.
Same here, which brings us to today's very real topic. Listen to your own advice.
Because let's be honest, most of us give amazing advice to friends. Wise, mature, calm. We sound like ancient monks.
But when it comes to our own life, we're like, no. That advice is for other people. I prefer chaos.
Today, we're going to talk about why it's so much easier to advise others than ourselves, what happens when you start applying your own wisdom, and some fun scenarios where we expose our own hypocrisy.
And don't worry, this won't be a serious lecture. More like two clowns realizing they're secretly geniuses, but only for other people.
Let's jump in.
So, Gavin, let's start with the question that might hurt a little. What is one piece of advice you always give others but never follow yourself?
Easy. Don't overthink it. Meanwhile, I overthink 17 different timelines of every decision.
Correct. You're like, don't overthink it and then spend 3 hours deciding which salad dressing to pick.
It's a gift, a curse, a lifestyle.
Okay, my turn. I always tell people, take breaks. Rest is important. But when I rest, my brain accuses me, why are you like this? You should be productive.
Your brain is a strict manager.
Exactly. So someone else needs a break. I'm soft and supportive. If I need a break, I turn into a disappointed parent.
Honestly, this is most people. We treat our friends like precious baby birds and treat ourselves like army recruits.
Yes, we're so kind outwardly and so intense inwardly.
Which is why listen to your own advice feels like comedy. Because our advice is great. We just don't believe we deserve it.
Okay, let's flow into the deeper part of this.
Here's something strange. When you're giving someone else advice, you see their situation clearly. No ego, no fear, no drama, just logic.
But when it's your life, suddenly everything is personal, emotional, confusing, blurry. You're like, I don't know who I am anymore.
Exactly. It's like looking at your friend's life through a high-definition camera and looking at your own through a potato.
Yes, because distance gives perspective. If you're not in the situation, you give wiser advice.
And here's the funny part. Our own advice is usually perfect for us, too, but we think we're the exception.
Like, I tell people, don't rush. It's okay to go slow. But then I try to finish 5 projects, reorganize my room, and learn a new language in the same afternoon.
I tell people, be gentle with yourself. Meanwhile, I say to myself, do better, faster, stronger. Why are you eating chips again?
Gavin versus Gavin is the funniest battle.
But the truth is, if we treated ourselves like we treat our friends, our lives would be so much softer.
Yes, more compassion, more calm, more breathing room.
Sometimes your own advice is the version of you that you want to become.
Oh, wow, that hits. Like your advice is the future you calling back saying, hey, I figured it out. Do this.
Exactly. Your advice is your wisdom, the part of you that's not panicking.
And when you start listening to your own advice, your life becomes less chaotic, a little less dramatic, a little more peaceful.
Speaking of drama, should we jump into the scenario section?
Yes, please. Let's reveal our own hypocrisy in story form. All right, everyone, welcome to the We're Calling Ourselves Out section.
3 scenarios only, but trust me, each one will feel painfully familiar.
Gavin, I'm scared to try this new thing. What if I fail?
It's okay. Everyone fails at first. Just start small, believe in yourself, you'll grow.
Aw, thank you. You're so supportive.
Of course, that's what friends are for.
Now, Gavin, you're scared to try something new. What would you tell yourself?
Failure is unacceptable. Do better, no mistakes allowed.
Excuse me? Where did the kind, wise advisor go?
He only works part-time. He doesn't advise me. I get the evil version.
This is why we need to listen to our own advice. The friend version of us is so much nicer.
Kate, don't go back to someone who treats you poorly. Know your worth.
You're right. I am a queen.
You are a queen.
No, Gavin, didn't you go on a second date with someone who forgot your name?
Okay. I can explain.
Explain what? They called you Gary.
Look, they were funny, and the restaurant was good.
Uh-huh. This is why listening to your own advice is a spiritual journey.
Do as I say, not as I date.
Perfect motto.
I'm overwhelmed. Too much work. Too little energy.
Take a break. You're human. You're allowed to rest.
Thanks, Gavin.
Now, Kate, you are overwhelmed. What's your advice to yourself?
Rest? No. I must suffer. Push through. Sleep is for the weak.
Kate, please. Your inner voice is a gladiator trainer.
And that is why my own advice sits in the corner like a sad puppy, ignored and dusty.
Today, we give that puppy a hug and maybe some snacks.
Okay, time for our What If segment. Today's question is from Julia in Poland.
She asks, what if my advice is good, but I still can't follow it?
Oh, Julia, welcome to the club. Membership? Everyone.
Here's the thing. Advice is a skill. Following advice is another skill.
And you don't need to follow it perfectly. Sometimes just following 5% of your own advice already changes things.
Also, it's not about perfection. It's about noticing, oh wow, I'm being harsh to myself again. That moment alone is progress.
Yes. Awareness is basically step 0, and step 0 counts. If we melt today's episode into one gentle idea, it's this.
You already know what you need. You already give amazing advice. You already have the wisdom inside you.
You're just kinder to others than to yourself.
Which means the problem isn't the advice. It's the permission. Permission to treat yourself like someone you care about, someone worth kindness, worth patience, worth gentleness.
Your advice is the soft, wise version of you, the one who sees clearly, the one without fear, the one who truly wants the best for you.
And when you start listening to that version, your life relaxes, your decisions soften, your days feel more aligned.
Your own advice is not for strangers. It's a love letter to your future self.
You're not failing at life. You're just learning to trust your own wisdom. Thank you for spending this time with us today. We hope your inner wise advisor feels seen and appreciated.
And if you give someone great advice today, maybe secretly ask yourself, should I take this advice too?
Chances are, yes. Yes, you should.
Because honestly, you deserve the same compassion and wisdom you give others.
We'll see you next time on Daily Chit-chat. Take care, be gentle, and trust the version of you that actually makes sense.
Bye, everyone. Listen to yourself. You're smarter than you think.